day and night. I toss and turn, I keep stressing my mind.
Before I wrap it up, guys, I want to talk about one more country that is on the UFC's radar they have never gone to in the history of the promotion. That country is France. Yes, and the specific city that they want to go to in France is Paris. Everybody knows about Paris. Everybody knows about the Eiffel Tower. Everybody knows it's the fashion capital of the world. It's also called the City of Light. And if we know something about Paris, we also know about a certain fighter that fights out of Paris. His name is Francis Ngannou, the Predator. Nobody wants to fight him. Nobody wants a piece of him because he knocks guys out cold. Just as Alistair Overeem, just as his latest victim, what was his name? Rosenstrike. Jairzinho Rosenstrike, yes. He knocked Jairzinho Rosenstrike out. Jairzinho ended up calling him out after a win against Alistair Overeem, and he was demolished in under a minute. Yes, Francis Ngannou. There's other fighters that have fought out of France as well. There was Tom de Quenzoy. He retired with a 16-2 record, very young fighter. He ended up fighting Cody Stamann, lost that fight, but he won against Terrion Ware and retired right after that. I don't know why. He just said that the sport wasn't for him anymore. It was too serious for him, but it was absolutely fine. He paved the way for a lot of French fighters out there, such as Nugano and such as Cyril Gane, who's 6-0 in the UFC, is also a heavyweight just like Francis Ngannou. And I believe he trains in the same gym as Francis Ngannou as well in Paris. And he is a beast, and he's going to have a very bright future in the UFC. Now, the UFC was most likely supposed to go to France this year because they just recently legalized MMA, but the coronavirus had other plans in mind. So the UFC is most likely going to go to France in 2021 and most likely headline a card with Cyril Gane or some other French fighter as well. They're most likely also going to stack the card with French fighters because they do plan on having a big splash in the French market. No one has had a mixed martial arts event in France, not Bellator, not the PFL, not any of those other guys. So it's definitely going to be very important when the UFC does go to France. That's where they've stated multiple times that they want to be at. They've stated multiple times that they want to get into that market, that they've been dying to go to France, but the only reason why they haven't is because the sport of mixed martial arts is illegal. No one can fight in any type of professional event. No one can fight for money. None of that. The only thing that mixed martial artists over there in France can do is train. That's basically what Francis Ngannou did when he decided to move from Cameroon to Paris, France. He was just training until he got a shot with the UFC, and he has not let go of that opportunity ever since. He's going to be in line for a title shot. So I'd really like to see Francis Ngannou maybe even fight in France in the future. I don't know if that's going to happen because he is a pay-per-view guy. People love having him on pay-per-view. People love to see him under the bright lights, especially on these heavy-hitting fight cards. And that's what I believe the UFC does have in plan for him. UFC, if they do go to France, which they most likely are, they are going to have fight nights go on. And depending on how popular these fight nights are going to be, that depends on their future in France. But I believe they're going to have a lot of fans definitely coming to the event from France, from Spain, from Italy, from all these different countries that are around France, because France borders a lot of different countries. They border the Netherlands. Actually, no, they do not border the Netherlands. That's actually a lie. The Netherlands borders Germany. Germany borders France. France borders Spain. It also borders Italy as well. So there's going to be a lot of popularity definitely trending towards the UFC when they do make their event happen in Paris. And like I said, Paris is the largest city in France. It's got a population of 2 million plus, which blows out all the other large cities in France. The other large city in there is Marseilleville, and they have a population of 800,000, which isn't even close to 2 million at all. So Paris is definitely going to be the place to go. It's a beautiful city. It's not one of these cities, like I said, such as Dubai. It's not a Abu Dhabi. It's not a New York City. It's not a Mexico City. It's not a Sao Paulo, Brazil, with all these skyscrapers, with all these cranes, with all these businesses and restaurants. No, it's an old school city with the majority of these buildings all looking alike. No skyscrapers, no Times Square lookalikes or anything like that. No, none of that. It's a old school city which looks a whole lot like the other towns and everything like that in cities within the country of France. It's got an amazing subway system that isn't even run by a a person. The whole entire subway system is electronic. It runs all by itself, which is also very interesting. It is the fashion capital of the world. It's got the Paris Eiffel Tower and a whole lot of different attractions that come along with the city of Paris. A lot of fighters definitely put their names in the hat when it comes to fighting in Paris, because a lot of fighters have never been there before, and if they do get the chance to fight in Paris, the UFC is going to pay for the plane ticket. They're going to pay for the hotel. They're going to pay for the food. They're basically going to pay for everything, all the expenses that come with it. So when the UFC does go to Paris, which they eventually will in 2021, I feel like they're going to make a huge splash, and they're definitely going to end up branching out and going to different cities within the country of France as well. And that's when the MMA scene in France is really going to kick off. You're going to see more gyms. You're going to see more fighters coming out of there. You're going to see maybe even promotions start being born in the country of France. Little, small French MMA promotions that'll start off with regional scenes and eventually make its way to actual professional fights in the long run as well. And the UFC can definitely make that happen, especially since it's the hugest and the top mixed martial arts promotion in the whole wide world. And I can't wait to see that. And I can't wait till the UFC actually goes to France and make all this happen. So appreciate you guys for watching this video. These are some of the reasons why I think the UFC should go to France. Not only because I think so, it's because I know they will. And it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens and all the future fighters that come out of France, because there's a plethora of talent in the country of France within the Paris area and so forth. So appreciate you guys for watching this video. Stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you guys soon.